89.3 KSBJ. It's Need to Breathe, signature of Divine.
It's the morning show with Mike and Susan. Well, you may have heard about him. People have been talking about this guy who is at the DPS office on Grant Road who preaches the gospel. His name is Mac Garcia, and he's with us this morning.
Mac, how did you get started on this? Because you're a young guy.
Yeah. Well, I got saved at the age of 25 now. Got saved at 20. God soundly saved me, regenerated me, filled me with His Holy Spirit, and with boldness, He's been disturbing me about the lost.
You mean disturbing you? What do you mean by that?
Well, sleepless nights. There's a burden for the lost, as far as there'll be a day when they'll be crying out that the rocks fall on them, so they won't have to suffer the wrath.
So you're tormented by this almost. This is something that you feel like God's kind of given you a vision of.
Yes, there's a burden. There is a burden that the Holy Spirit has burdened us with, and our team, it's peasantsaints.com.
Hold up, back up. You said our team.
Yeah, there's a team in Houston.
And what's the name of it?
Peasantsaints.com.
Peasantsaints.com.
Yes, sir. Anyways, and the Lord's been really burdening us for the lost, and really it's the glory of Christ and what He's done on the cross, and that's what is motivating us, and that He saved us, and that we find no peace and no comfort unless we're preaching, and usually within the few hours after, the burden is still convicting us, right?
Wow, so when you're preaching, the burden's lifted.
Just about, yeah. I would say there's probably not much anything else that would relieve us from the burden.
Now, you said we used that over and over again. How many people are with your group?
I believe we went last week to Sugarland, the town square. There's about maybe 20 of us, maybe.
And you all go together?
Different church, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's not just at the DPS. I mean, you said Sugarland. You're going all over the place.
Yes, we were at the Texans games on Monday, a few days ago. Minute Maid Parks, there's the Walmart's drive-through windows, there's the...
Drive-through windows? How's that work?
Well, we ask them if they've ever gotten one of these, and what we hand them is a tract, and usually the person says no. And
you mean when you're going through a drive-through window, you hand them one?
Sure.
Good.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking with Mac Garcia. We call him the Grant Road DPS preacher, and we found out that he doesn't just preach there. First of all, he shows up with a stepladder. He's got some people that are there with him sometimes.
Right.
But he's been in Town Square in Sugarland, at Astros games, Texans games.
Yeah, Reliant Stadium.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Now, let me ask you this. I know that when you were at the DPS office, you were talking about how Jesus paid their fines. So when you're at the Texans game, how do you talk to them about Jesus there?
We just share the gospel. We walk up to them and say, would you consider yourself to be a good person? And many say, yeah, I'm a good person. I've done this and that. And what we do is we walk them through the law, because Jesus actually said there's no one good. And they'll stop and say, man, I haven't seen myself like this in a long time. I'm really not a good person. So when God convicts them and shows them they're not good, then we share with them that Jesus died for their sins, and it makes sense to them. And that's how we share the gospel. Usually, anywhere. We'll start usually by giving them a tract and greeting them, saying, hello, how are you? And we give them a tract, and then we'll swing to the gospel.
Now, do you ever get in trouble?
No.
Because, the DPS office apparently gave you permission.
Yeah, because we did talk to one of the actual deputies who said that he had to go down and check on it because somebody had complained. So do you deal with complaints sometimes?
Yeah, Jesus said they were going to hate us and persecute us. And, yeah, there's a lot that do hate us. And
do you feel hated when you're doing it sometimes?
Yeah, but our motive is that genuinely concerned about the lost. And really, we love God and we love Christ and what He's done. And that's what really motivates us as we're preaching. And people will throw some things at us. They'll
really?
Get angry, and some weep and whine, some don't, some stand there like rocks, like nothing's happening. Some
how do you deal with the rejection?
Jesus on the cross.
Just think about what He did.
What He's done on the cross. That's enough. We just preach the gospel. It's not a gift. It's just the love in action. Just preaching the gospel. And what he has done is wakes us up in the morning. It keeps us up at night.
Mac Garcia is his name. We're calling him the Grant Road Street Preacher.
And we're going to talk more with him. He just fascinates me, and certainly he is doing what the newsboys are talking about. Yeah. You got to get out there and shine this morning at 89.3 KSBJ.